All right, hello. Welcome. We are going to go ahead and do the weekend reading for you all. Okay, let's go ahead and pile that in and take care of that. Hope that you all are well, that you all are doing good. Hope that these messages have been resonating and helping you and pushing you forward to be the best you can be. Let's go ahead and shuffle it one more time. Okay, Spirit, what do you have for the collective for a proverb in regards to this weekend? What energy can they expect to be happening? So we got I Ching 30, so we're going to go ahead and pull that up and see what that has for the weekend for you guys as a collective, which is the clinging. Above fire, below fire. Fire will not burn on its own, but must cling to the fuel that feeds it. So too does the superior person seek fuel to feed the spiritual fire, lest it burn out from neglect. As the flame within grows brighter, it adds its light to the world and improves it. Clinging to what is true and right brings good fortune. Fire upon fire, feeding the inner flame. So if we're thinking about the previous proverbs that you have guys been receiving, which is about staying the course, living in your purpose, being in your truth, and recognizing that, setting stronger boundaries, being more vocal about yourself, living and thriving in your destiny. That is the fuel within the fuel that is feeding that, right? That is allowing your spirit to allow that to happen without neglect, like it said. So that also takes into part of being checking in your mental health, maybe going to therapy, meditation, journaling, things of that sort, and or your physical health, exercising, doing yoga, stretching, eating better, drinking a lot more water, things of that sort also fuels the inner spirit fire from within, because it is showing that I'm constantly nurturing it, adding kindle to it, blowing it if I need to, adding life into it, and especially with this new moon that happened yesterday and today, and this new life, this new generation that is happening for us, a new generation. This new life that is happening for you within your generation is very powerful. So that fire on fire is clinging to each other. That passion that you have to live in your purpose is clinging to your ancestors wanting to follow that with you. They work very much hand in hand. Okay, so now we're just going to go ahead and gather and see what's going on with your emotions in regards to this weekend. So emotions to look out for that will hinder you in regards to fueling that fire, in regards to living your purpose, in regards to setting boundaries, in regards to just continuously being okay with being yourself, because it is okay to be you authentically and truthfully. That is the best way to be. So Spirit, we're just going to go ahead and gather some emotions that will work for them this weekend, that they should look out for and be grateful for and feed into, right? And acknowledge, because just because emotions are fleeting doesn't mean that you shouldn't acknowledge the good ones as much as you acknowledge the bad. Okay, so we're going to see what emotions to look out for in regards to working with it, and emotions to look out for in regards to admiring it and feeding into it and allowing that to fuel your fire as well. So Spirit, what emotions are what emotions should they look out for in regards to what is working for them, what they should feed into, what is fueling their fire? Spirit, what emotions are fueling their fire? Okay, and then what emotions are putting out their fire? Spirit, what emotions are putting out their fire? Emotions are putting out their fire, Spirit. What is hindering them? What is stopping them? I'm just putting a damper on it. All right. So we got it. So we're going to do what is hindering you, what isn't working. And the words might sound crazy, but that's what I'm here for, to help you. So don't worry. So for what isn't working, you some emotions to look out for are, it sounds crazy, but joyful and accepting. And the reason why it said joyful is because it's an intuitive emotion. As we can see, joyful is an intuitive emotion. It is something that you are innately born with. Innately, you are cultivated to go towards, you are drawn towards, you are attracted to wanting to have a joyful, liberated, fully free life. with that intuition happening. And if we're thinking about intuition, that's mean the gut, the first brain, your movement, your thought process within your stomach, and then also Virgo season and cleaning that out. Make sure that you're thinking more detail oriented and process oriented in how you're treating yourself in your environment for that. So when joyful comes in with this emotion, I'm hearing don't wait for the other shoe to drop, because there isn't another shoe that's going to drop. So live in this emotion, thrive in this emotion, be joyful for the opportunities that you have, but be also joyful for the opportunities that didn't work out for you, because later on down the line it can be like the Fire Festival and you would have went there and put your name on something that had no regards of being good in the first place. Okay, so with this intuitive emotion being joyful and something to look out for that may hinder you, it's a means of don't stifle your own joy. Don't stop it. Don't put a cease to it. Don't wait for the other shoe to drop. Don't question it. Don't doubt if you're worthy of this joy that you're experiencing, this bliss, this happiness, things of that sort. So with this being an intuitive emotion, don't doubt the joy that you are experiencing and or are soon to experience with what you're doing, with how you're living, especially with all those pentacles coming in reverse. In order to put that in upright position, take joy in your work, take joy in your actions, take joy in the boundaries you set, take joy in the new habits, the new routines, the new ideas that you are having. Take joy in that. Don't dread it as having to start over. Don't dread it as you lost everything. It is not something that you lost. It is more of a gain. So with this intuitive emotion coming in for joyful, it is a means of basking in that joy and loving it. Okay? It says, when we pay attention, there is a lot to celebrate within the simplicities of life. Witnessing a small act of kindness, sharing laughter with a loved one, or paying a bill on time are various forms of joy. Focusing on the positive aspects of life promotes more experiences of receiving joyful pleasures. Okay? So remember, it's not waiting on the other shoe to drop, this and that. It is everything that is happening in my life is a joy. The decisions I have made and have not made yet are a joy in my life. Like I said, it's the smallest simplicities of life that bring that continuous joy. And if we're thinking about the Virgo and how they pay attention to detail, pay attention to the joy in your life, right? Like I said, paying a bill on time, having a laugh with a friend, eating your favorite meal, waking up on time, going to bed on time, finding an outfit that fits you when you go to the store. Those are moments of joy that you don't need to question in or doubt. Why am I receiving this? Why am I getting this? Okay? Take that in. Some crystals or stones that will help you is lapradorite, hidenite, gold, and chrysanthemum stone. Okay? Another one that is not working for you that could hinder and or stifle your fire and or purpose. Give me a second. Excuse me. Like inside for you is your physical emotions, which is accepting, right? And then we're thinking about it saying that you have to hydrate, you have to mental health check, you have to plan accordingly, you have to start meditating more. That is saying that in this physical emotion, like I said, it may be hard because of all this difficulty at the beginning and conflict and people that don't have your best interests at heart, and those things are coming in. It's a means of your physical body maybe not accepting that at this moment in time. And now it maybe wants to revert back to comfort of habit, right? Because we are creatures of habit. Whether we do something different every day, there is something within that daily routine that we do that is very defined and comforting to us, right? We don't typically step outside of our comfort zone. So with the physical, it is having to accept that now you are in a different place, in a different environment, in a different mindset, in a different, I'm hearing company, way of being in business. And so you have to accept that, because when you don't, your body, your physical emotion starts to reject, right? It starts to neglect itself in means of you starting to neglect yourself. You start having negative thoughts, right? And with the negative thoughts, you don't trust in the work that you're putting out. You don't trust in what you're saying and what you're producing. And with this Virgo energy and you having to share more, and it's a recognition of, have I been sharing my gifts, my talents, my purpose with the wrong people? You know, my mindset, my ideas, and maybe it's a realization of that and you not being able to accept that. Or maybe a realization that the love connection that you had for a long time that I'm hearing, and or that you wanted to last for a long time, didn't work out because they didn't really have your best interest in mind, and that is a lot to accept. And what I'm hearing, your family is not as supportive, as loving, as caring. They are really pushing that title limit to the pushing point of no return of why they do things, and that is causing excuses in your own life, and that is not helping you. And a means of accepting it is allowing yourself to realize that everything is not happening to me, but it is happening for me, and I'm working through it, right? So with acceptance, what isn't going to work for you is you denying things. You're trying to go back. You're trying to avert. You making excuses for things so that way you don't have to accept it. You're trying to coddle your ego and keep pride in the way, and keep pride in a way without having it being pride of work, but being pride of self-sabotage, right? It's your ego stepping in, not in a way of pushing you forward, but in a way of holding you back and stifling that fire. Okay, so acceptance is the state of being fully aware of a situation or circumstance without trying to control, judge, or change it. Emotional acceptance is a cornerstone to redirect your energy and resources into a productive path. Helpful crystals for acceptance expand the ability to practice non-attachment and make peace with what is happening, right? People think of attachment as, oh, I'm just leaving the situation. No, attachments, you recognizing that just because I have all these pins here and things of that sort, that is not the attachment, right? If I was to lose all this, it wouldn't stop me from being able to write, from being able to cultivate, from being able to create color, because there's more out there. When I realized that this is not the only pins in the world, I release that attachment while still recognizing the beauty of me still being able to cultivate that, right? So when you recognize that and not trying to change it, like it said, or judge it, or do anything of that sort, and you're just accepting it, it is what it is. You know the divine is working and it's always on time. Recognizing that allows you to expand that the attachment or the anticipation for something, maybe it wasn't for you. I really wanted that job. I really wanted it, and then you find out later on that it didn't have all the benefits that it said it did, or they don't have great in diversity or inclusivity, right? Things of that sort. Or I really wanted this relationship to last. Like, man, I thought we were really good, and then later on down the line, you find out some stuff you're like, that. I don't even want kids, something like that, whatever it is, but it's accepting it, and it's the realization that when you don't accept it, it allows you to see why this is something that you should accept in your body, if that it didn't work, if that it didn't work out, if that it went this way. Because when you're like, okay, I accept it, you're able to see all the details, you're able to see the bigger picture, and now you're able to have all the information needed to move forward, okay? So the crystals or stones are amethyst, hedionite, helidor, and kunzite, okay? So, what is going to be working for you? What emotions you should really be tapping into? Not saying that you can't tap into those, because those I always want to consider reverse with accepting and joyful, because again, it's okay to accept and it's okay to embrace that joy. But what isn't working is you denying those things, okay? But what is working is your mental clarity is enlightened. You are looking, like again, for more of that relief, more of that expansion of growth. You're looking for a difference in your environment, in your life. You're done with repeating cycles, patterns, lifetime connections, things of that sort that don't benefit you in the way that you are looking for that advancement in spirituality. And even with the proverb, it said it is feeding it spiritually, that fire on fire, right? It's feeding that. And so with your mental clarity, and the last card you got with the mental health check, and making sure that you are that enlightened leads to that deeper understanding of self, right? A deeper recognition. So when you have the deeper recognition of self and what you want to do and how you want to lead, that aligns to more alignment with other people, with more opportunities, because you are accepting what has happened and you are joyful in your life, okay? So let's go ahead and read that. Enlightened. The mental state of enlightenment promises a deeper purpose in life. It lives intimately in the present moment to help you overcome adversity, transcend the ego, and find peace through the polarizing beauty, darkness, pain, or suffering that accompanies life. Okay? Enlightenment peels away labels to reveal the raw essence of the divine self and soul. Again, it's that inner knowing. It's who you are. It's that enlightenment of self. It's recognizing that job didn't work out because it wasn't worth my time. They were going to overwork me and underpay me. That person wasn't worth it because I was always giving. I was always trying to communicate. I was trying to work things out, and they were just kind of coasting. That relationship with my family didn't work out because they were using it as a title, as an excuse to treat me in a certain way, not respecting my boundaries, not hearing me, not recognizing that I am my own person separate from them, right? Whatever it is, it's this enlightenment, right? Whether you lost a friendship, whether you had to change directions, whether you have to change your eating habits, I'm hearing your dietary things based off of going to a doctor's appointment with your health, that enlightenment is causing even more mental clarity because it is allowing you to see exactly where you have placed yourself in your life and where exactly you want to continuously place yourself in your life to dive into your purpose, to live in it. Okay, so we have spirit quartz, cinnabar, flugerites, I think, and motivites. Okay, the last one that we have, you got one. You got one for every single emotion: intuitive, physical, mental, and then energetic and transformational flow. That is the energy that you are fueling inside of yourself and using to transform your life. And we got proud. Okay, which is why with those pinnacles coming in reverse and things of that sort, and you're not being able to take pride in your work, it's becoming lazy. You're allowing others to lead your life. It is hard to take pride in your life and put your name on something, like I said, and say, yeah, that's me. I did that. I'm saying that. I'm sticking to that. Or even with the truth card that you guys got as well in the new moon and the new life. What the truth card is this realization of accepting what has happened, not making excuses, not lying about it, not trying to make it seem like it's something when it isn't, as well as the other cards. Proud is okay to be proud, right? But when pride and ego comes in the way, like the enlightened card said, as well as the accepting card said, it's a means of realizing, are you doing this in a way of, I'm happy with my name being on it? Are you doing it in a way of, oh, it didn't work out because, I was too good for them and this and that. But, I'm going to try again later. Why are you trying for the same person that you feel like you're too good for? You're right. It's like that thing where you want that toxic person to come back and give you an apology when you don't really want them in your life or in your vicinity. It's a means of, is your pride working for you or against you? Okay? So, proud, which is good to have, which is what is working for you. But make sure that it's not going into being too proud, and that leads to shame, that leads to disappointment, that leads to embarrassment if you're not really enlightened and sure of self, okay? It says pride is the self-dignified nature of those who are certain of themselves, okay? It is deep-rooted in the heart. However, there is a fine line of duality within pride that asks for deeper awareness. The shadow side of pride can create rigidity, which can keep you from walking the heart's true path, okay? So again, it's that fine line between pride for self-improvement, self-enlightenment, self-growth, right? But also for self-service, sometimes self-sacrifice, because you're okay with those things, which also leads to the other proverb that we got yesterday with being a leader, being the silent powerhouse, moving in that way and recognizing those things, versus pride when you start making excuses, you start lying, you start manipulating, or you start taking too much of a back seat in your life so that way you don't have to put your name on things. It's just a lot of things, okay? And we don't want that, because this is working for you. The prideful energy that you want to take in your work, that you want to take in your life and say, I am who I am and I know it, and live in that truth, is going to work for you, okay? And you have to accept that and take joy in that. Because the more that you get to know yourself, like I said, with that shadow, you're recognizing that the things that you did allow and did accept at that time, point, and period, and or that you did maybe want and or were going for and working so hard for, it's okay to recognize that. Because that energy can be utilized later on. But when you shun it or neglect it, like the card said, or deny it, or don't accept it, all those things, it snuffs out that fire, it snuffs out that flame, and now all the progress that you have made, because every card has been saying you have been making continuous progress, it is just now to continuously move forward and put yourself first. It's time to move forward and make the first move with that. And with the Virgo, sharing that as a means of sharing your gifts, sharing your energy, sharing your essence with those boundaries attached, okay? So we have citrine, sapphire, shivaligma, and turquoise. Okay, so those are the emotions that could hinder your fire. If you don't feel like you deserve joy or to accept the things that happen, so that way you can move forward, I know they will enhance it for you. Okay, and allow that movement in those ways. Okay. Jeez. We're just gonna see what we can do with your shadow. Since they mentioned the shadow, let's take some look and see what can help you. Looking for in the shadow. With this weekend, most people typically have off, so it would be a great time to write down what you're grateful for. Write down your accomplishments. Write down your goals. Write down just some things that you are expecting from yourself, but also write down things that you're expecting to gain from your environment. Okay? I want you to do this as a means of putting yourself in the present moment of how far you have come and how far you will go, and also acknowledging and being joyful and accepting for where you are, so that way you can make the wisest decisions moving forward. That way you can make them confidently. That way you can do it without somebody coming in and whispering in your ear, and now everything has switched up and changed, and it's in regards of you just recognizing as fine. Okay? So taking that in, we're just going to see what is going on within the shadow and how to help you with that. Okay? So Spirit, what's going on with the shadow for this weekend in regards to the previous cards that we got with pride and acceptance? What can they look for in the shadow? You are very close to achieving your goal, which is the gibbous moon. Okay? So this is a means of not giving up. This is a means of keeping pushing forward. It's a means of recognizing that you are right there. All the cards that you have been getting for the previous few weeks have been, you're making progress. It's just a little difficult situation you have to get over. It's a cycle that you have to end. It's a pattern that you have to shut down. It's an opening for yourself. It's you releasing people, old habits, old thoughts. You are close to achieving your goals because you even have the full moon in Aries, a fiery climax approaches, all right? And then we're thinking about you guys getting a new life, the new moon, new beginnings, new potentials, a clean slate, a new start. All those things, it's a means that it's approaching. So why would you slow down? Why would you stop? Why would you doubt? Why would you start getting lazy with uploading or sharing or being progressive in your work environment? Why are you halting? Why are you slowing down? That thing that you have to bite through, that difficult person, that third party energy that is there, it was there for a reason to, it's like Mario Kart. When you hit that little rainbow thing and it goes, and you're going really fucking fast, that's what it was. You may have hit a few bananas on the way, a few shells, knocked you out, but as soon as you hit that rainbow road, you was, is it rainbow? It's the little thing with the arrow. You know exactly what I'm talking about if you play Mario Kart, Mario Brothers, okay? You know exactly what I'm talking about. But you speed on it and you're going. You're fast, you're there. And that's why it's approaching. It also pulls in that cardinal energy that you got from the cards yesterday in regards to that. And acknowledging that it is coming closer and closer for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and read the full moon in Aries as well as the gibbous moon, okay? So, again, it literally first sentence, it's time to see if you've been a little too much me. There's a tug of war between what you want and what someone else wants, which you'll have to wait a little while to see what's going to happen next. And that regards to if you don't know what to do, for those people that don't know what to do, still continuously go forward. Continuously do your daily routines. Continuously hone your crafts and hone on your skills. And continuously speak those affirmations. Continuously meditate. It doesn't mean to stop. It just means at this moment there's a tug of war. And if we're thinking about the Virgo energy of it being a self-service, and that is who they are, the Virgo energy is that of being like a philanthropist in a sort of wanting to give out your gifts, your talents, your information. It's a means of, if it's too me, right? But you also have to recognize the Virgo energy is in play of having to showcase your talents. That is where pride is, on that thin line, like Proud said, of duality, right? Are you doing too much, or are you not doing enough? Because it also is a means of, are you being too meek, too shy? And so when the time is to come, you feel like, oh, now it has to be about me. But you also weren't speaking up for yourself when you needed to, right? You also weren't putting in action or work when you needed to, okay? So there is no in between, okay? It says, as you wait, ask yourself if you've been handling the situation as sensitively as you could have been, okay? So take that into recognition. And that can also mean sensitively with yourself and with your self-grace. Yes, taking accountability is amazing. It's powerful. But you also have to give yourself grace so that way you don't just stop at being aware of the accountability that you have. Because with the mental clarity and the enlightened, that is new information, new regards coming in of how to operate. Okay? So, it says, when this card comes, a peak is coming and it could be fiery. Okay? So, again, this is coming to a head. And this is also, I'm hearing, this is also in regards to that person that does not have your best interest in mind as well. And like I said, this is that confrontation, like the proverb said, is inevitable. So it's letting you know that this is approaching. It is happening. If you've been to me, and it's been disrupting somebody that's wanting you to be all about them, that's kind of cause an issue. If you've been me, right, but you have been acting in a way of that, and because you've been detached or you've been afraid of accepting or being who you are, that can cause an issue as well. It's a means of recognizing those things, right? It says the affirmation is, I will be nice and kind. It says, I will be nice, kind, and smile, and I'll be polite as I navigate where I want to be. Okay? It says, I'll be nice, kind, and smile, and I'll be polite as I navigate to where I want to be. Right? So again, it didn't say I was going to, I'll accept anything that happens. No, I'll be nice and kind, and I'll smile, and, I'll be polite as I navigate to where I want to be. You can be polite and put somebody in that place and tell them no. You can tell them stop. You can tell them this ain't your life to live. You can still be all those things, right? As you navigate to where you're going. Okay? It says the additional meanings for this card, being assertive is good. Just don't rush hide over anyone. If you are in a tense situation, meditate your way to peace, especially with those people that are dealing with those people that don't really care about them, that don't have the best interest, that have a snake in their midst. It says, don't be a baby, right? Again, you have to confront this issue. You have to be bold, right? If you are to me, acknowledge that and recognize that and move forward, because other people can also feel your fire, okay? It says you need to have more fun. That's it. You need to have more fun. That is the additional meanings. So again, that joyfulness, allowing yourself to recognize that the shoe isn't going to drop on the other foot. Recognizing who you are allows that. Because it's hard to have fun when you're worried and stressed about stuff, when you feel like you don't deserve to. It's all of these things, and we don't want that for you, okay? The Givius moon is about tweaking, honing, and adjusting your skills, okay? Again, that's that taking that time to reflect, taking a step back, especially with you guys collaborating with people and having to work with them for your positions and or in your relationships with self or others. It is a means of having to do that. So if you're very close, it's just a means that something needs to be adjusted. And that's, I'm hearing for a lot of you, it's that inevitable situation that you still haven't actually been through, that you still haven't actually confronted and pushed head on. You need to. There's no time for that. Aries energy is here. Emotions are running high, right? You can't be me, and then expect when something comes to you scared. Make it make sense. Okay? Okay. So, it says, it is a month that suggests the situation you're asking about is bulging with possibility. Okay? This isn't an ending card with a neat yes or no. Okay? It says you're close to achieving your goals. It says in a yes or no. It is rather you're being reminded that some adjustments may yet be required before you get what you want. Okay? Though you're certainly on the right track. Okay? But again, your cards have been saying you've been on the right track. It's just you have to deal with these potholes in your road. You ever been driving and you lived on the street for a while and you see that pothole getting bigger and bigger and bigger because the city isn't doing anything about it and people just keep riding over it like it's not there. You cannot do that. You need to make adjustments. You cannot have potholes in your life and expect your car to not break down every 5 miles. Get it together. You need structure in your life. like the Virgo. You need routines. You need trust in yourself. And those things come from recognizing that you are closer to achieving your goals, which is why I want you guys to make those lists. What you have accomplished, how far you've come, what you're grateful for, the environment that you're setting up, the environment that you want, what you're expecting from others, what you're expecting from yourself, all of those things, right? It says the affirmation, okay? It says, hold on, sorry. It says, however, there is also a sense that the situation is a bit tense, so don't push too hard. One false move and the whole thing can blow. So we're thinking about the fiery climax, and we're thinking about you having to take charge and not being meek about your life while still being the silent powerhouse. It is a means of you still making those collective moves. And it's about you still doing what you need to do. Because again, the situation is here. It's inevitable. That's what the proverb said, even with the fire, which is why they gave you the fiery climax approaches. The proverb, fire with fire. It's a means of you have to burn out shit that isn't for you. Singe it and use those ashes for a pottery for a new plant. Okay? It says the affirmation is, I know that I'm on the right track. That leads to the mental clarity, that leads to you accepting things and realizing I'm on the right track. Nothing I can do about that because I'm on the right track. Okay? The additional meanings is, now is a good time to review your plans. Keep the momentum going as you move towards your goals. Stay focused. It's a good time to start a new project, okay, with that cardinal energy, making a move. And you need to get back into good health habits. With that Virgo energy, we still are currently in retrograde, Mercury retrograde, which is in Virgo. We're also still in Virgo season. So taking in these thoughts, especially with all this energy accumulating around, and it's very great, right? And it's also a great time to do some grounding magic, some earth magic, because we are in the earthly energy with this Virgo, okay? So taking that in, walking outside, right? Maybe planting, getting a little bit of nature. Maybe cooking is also working with earth energy as well because of the food, the produce, and things of that sort. Going out there and rooting yourself, okay? So taking that in, you're at the end. You're at the end. So with this shadow period is a means of recognizing if I'm at the end, right? I have to go inside of myself and recognize what I need to do. Because if the situation is approaching on some fiery stuff, what's it gonna be? Now we're gonna go ahead and get some final messages, and then that will be the weekend reading, okay? I'm hearing you guys want to start. You don't know how to start. You don't know what to do. I'm hearing that you were making progress, and with this situation stopping you, that you are just like, hands up, I'm done. And the spirit is like, no, that's not what we want. So you're like, I don't know what to do after this. Don't do anything. That's also why the card said, don't do anything. You can still look at your goals. So again, write down that list. But when you don't do anything, you also allow spirit to communicate. You also allow yourself to give messages, right? You ever try to talk to somebody and they keep moving around their house while you're on the phone, whether in person or not, and you're like, okay, I can't hear you. Call me back later. You're doing too much. I can't communicate with you because you're doing too much. You're talking to these people. You're moving around. You're trying to clean the dishes. I can't talk to you because you're doing too much. So sometimes doing too much can stop you from getting information, news, secrets revealed, and clouds your mind, or makes it crowded or busy or not structured. Again, allowing those things to happen is can be detrimental to you, and that can cause you not to accept things, not to take joy in life, which is one of the cards said, just have fun, right? When it's hard to have fun, when you feel like you don't deserve it, you're not worthy of it, that something bad is going to happen, you're like, damn, I ain't have money to spend on that. Yeah, I ain't got time, just stop making excuses as well, okay? So, Spirit, what do you have in regards to the weekend for the collective? For the weekend. So many cards. What do you have for the weekend for the collective in regards to the situation that they're dealing with? And that smacked me right in my foot. What do you have for the collective in regards to the situation? What they need to bite through? keeping that fire fueled. Speak to my heart, give me your holy word. 'Cause if I can't hear from you, I don't know what to do. Yeah. So that's it. Again, you do not, when you are going through something, the first thing that I say is that you neglect is your body, right? As soon as you are going through something, you just like, I don't feel like cooking anymore, so you start eating fast food. I don't feel like doing this anymore. I'll just relax, or I'll skip, doing my face routine today and tonight, and then you wind up missing it for a week. It's just you start to lack in that first because it starts to mentally weigh on you, that it starts to push down on your body as well, right? Starts to feel like, damn, if I cut this out from doing this, maybe it'll help me clear up my mind and clear, versus recognizing that your brain can actually get a lot better if it has a set structure that it's able to set to, right? But also it means that when you start neglecting your body, your spirit doesn't feel motivated to move, it doesn't feel motivated to go, and that causes a whole cycle of things, okay? So the reason why I'm saying that is because, again, we don't want you to neglect yourself physically. And we have you been feeding yourself? Okay. Now, when I contemplated this card, is what have you been feeding yourself mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, as well as sexually? Okay. What have you been feeding yourself? What have you been allowing to come inside your body, your presence, your environment? What have you been feeding yourself? Right. If you are around people that gossip a lot or lie a lot or just don't have your best interest, or just certain things are just down, and just like, what have you been feeding yourself and been listening to, right? What have you been feeding yourself when you wake up in the morning? How you talk about yourself, how you think about yourself. I can't do this, I'm not having this, I'm broke, I'm struggling, I'm stressed, and nothing ever goes my way. I'm just waiting on the other shoe to drop because it is what it is. Nobody will ever love me. I'll be forever single. My family hates me. I'll be forever the black sheep. Whatever it is, that is what you were feeding yourself. But also on the physical level, like I said, the first thing to go, I don't feel like cooking, but you haven't cooked a meal in 2 months, and you're only eating fast food, and you're wondering why you're backed up. Wondering why your skin's breaking out, that sort, right? So it's a means of what have you been feeding yourself. Right? Have you been drinking water? Have you been, it's allowing yourself to recognize whatever I put into myself, it's going to come out. Right? If we think about alcoholics, the more they drink, it literally starts to smell like alcohol. It's coming out of their pores. And it takes months after sobriety for them to finally stop smelling like the alcohol that they were drinking for years, because it literally started to come out of their pores and out of their body. So we're thinking over it, and even in that extreme of a way, imagine what you're feeding yourself on a daily basis to your mental, your spiritual, emotional, and sexual. Especially for those people that was fucking that person with the devil genitals. And I'm not judging you because I've been there, okay? But it's a means of what are you putting inside of your body and allowing within your environment. How have you been feeding yourself? Or how you been just eating multiple snacks and never really truly satisfied, okay? So Spirit is saying you have to feed yourself properly, which goes back to that Virgo energy, being conscious of what you are doing to your body, to your environment, to your mind, okay? Because at this point in time, you are not close to being done. There is more work to do. There's more action to be put in. And if your body can't hold up to it, if your mental breaks, all these things, it's because you're not close to being done. What you're acting in a way is if it's already over, you've already been defeated, or if you've already finished, or you're just going to allow somebody else to take the reins. Because you're not been feeding yourself personally, right? You don't, again, that pulls into that shadow work with understanding and knowing yourself. There we go. Shit was not up. Okay, so taking that in. We also have brush your teeth and wash your ass. Again, when you start to neglect your physical, it's because of what could be going on mentally. It could have been because of the situation or circumstance that happened and you haven't been able to accept it or get over it or eat it like the peacock, or calm and meditate like the crocodile. But you need to, again, not neglect that. What is it? You can't manifest in a dirty house or with a dirty mouth. Okay, so it's hard to profess into your life, and now it's blocked with plaque and all these things. So it's just even certain things like that. Like I said, do not neglect the physical. Hydrate your body. You know, take that in. Do what you need to do. If you are feeling in that certain way, like I said, talk to a therapist, talk to a friend, journal it out so that way you don't feel like you have to be stuck. Because then it leads to a feeling of not feeling worthy. Like, oh, what's the point? Nobody cares about me anyway. You know, what's the regard? Nobody's going to it's things that start, but you have to recognize that you have to keep up with your body. You have to keep up with it. Because when you look in that mirror and you're seeing something that you don't recognize, it's because you put yourself there. And that can lead to even more of a spiral because you realize I put myself there. Which is why I said don't stop at the awareness of accountability, but lead with grace so that you can heal what you have the awareness of. Okay? So, we have, you are being watched. You are being watched over by your ancestors and protected in always, always. Know that you are guided. And then we have the numbers 444. Okay? So it's again in regards to recognizing that you are making progress. You are on the right track. You are making the right moves. And it's okay, especially I'm hearing with this new pattern, this new cycle, this new life that you guys are living, this change of you not accepting that anymore. You are a novice. You are young again, right? Because now that you've cracked over the potholes, right, and now you're driving on the smooth road, you're recognizing that now that you're not stopping every 5 miles, you're able to get a lot further, and you're able to see a lot more and experience a lot more, and that is new to you, and that is okay. So it is a means of, as you are exploring it, as you are having fun, as you are taking pride in your work and collaborating and doing what you need to do, that you are always protected and watched over, right? And that also means that when something didn't work out, it's because it wasn't. Your ancestors said, no, my baby's not taking that. They're not allowing that. It's not happening. Okay? And also when you are feeling stuck, if you are being watched, protected, and you have that connection, then you are being guided. Like I said, when you are quiet, when you allow that in, they are able to communicate with you. They're able to speak with you and lead you, especially if they are guiding you. Okay? And sometimes it's just in a means of tapping into that younger self. Your inner child is missing you. So go have fun. When we think about it as a kid, we didn't have no bills. You know, you didn't have to worry about too much of anything. We're going outside, we're drinking from the water hose, because if we go inside, we know we can't go back outside, and we don't want to miss out on having fun with our siblings, our cousins, our friends. Our inner child is missing. Our inner child is missing you. Your inner child is missing you. It is missing that carefreeness. It is missing having those weird ideas that is like, you know what? Why not build the fort outside before it rains, and then hurry and bring, stupid weird stuff. But that stupidness led to more creativity and ingenuity, right? It led to more fun. You were never really bored if you had, that adventure. Taking stuff from out the back of the fridge and playing Fear Factor. Things of that sort. It is allowing you to have that feeling of no embarrassment, no shame, right? You're just having joy. You're just experiencing life. You're recognizing that I don't know everything. I don't have all the information, and I'm really having a really great time. Your inner child is missing you. It's also missing that connection that can help you with why you are dealing with that cycle, why you are dealing with that pattern, which is why they brought in that shadow, which is why they brought in that information of what are you feeding yourself. Because you can also be starving your inner child by not recognizing that they are going with you every step of the way, and they're not leaving you until you die. So, communicating with them, conversating with them, and having that interconnection of recognizing what is my inner child, what is this even what I truly desire? Especially I'm hearing within the family regard, people will see their family and they'll, what am I hearing? It's this lack of awareness with family, because it's a lack of awareness within self when you were younger, right? So when you go back to your inner child with the understanding of that, it's a means of pushing you forward as well, okay? So that leads us to the next one, which is 666. Take a step back and reflect on past choices and actions. Take the lessons and use it for future wisdom and for future and present wisdom. Okay, so if you're taking a step back again, writing those lists, reflecting, meditating, food meditation, walking, doing your affirmation, manifestation, doing your daily sleep schedule, just saying whatever it is and taking a step back and reflecting on the past choices, it will also let you realize, if I said I wanted this, why would I want to work with that person? Why would I want to do this? Why would I want to stay with this person? So taking a step back and reflecting, 666, and is what I'm doing the right thing, which leads back to the gibbous moon, and you're not close to being done, and the fiery climate's approaching. Taking that step back allows you to not be so up close, but take a step back and see everything for like, oh, that screw's loose over there. I wouldn't have noticed that because I was over here and I was way too close. You have to sometimes take a step back and reflect, and that also helps you with planning for your goals in the future, no matter how big or small. Okay? Because you also have communication coming in. We have, is that a ringing in my ears, a spirit in my eye? That's something that works for me. But the communication is coming in. So if you've been getting more vivid dreams, if you've been smelling stuff out of nowhere from your childhood or past memories, if you've been having a taste for something that you feel like can't be satisfied, if you have been hearing the ringing in your ears, so some people do have that, or the spirit in your eye, or like feeling like your eyes are irritated or agitated, things of that sort. If you've been seeing signs, messages, numbers, things of that sort, that is all communication. But it also means it's communication to you, because some people get it through music, some people get it through movies, some people get it while they're doing tarot readings, and you're like, that's what it was for me. Some people can get it while they're doing their beading, and then they notice the beads going in a certain synchronicity, and they're like, that's what that meant the other day. Okay, communication can come in any way, but when you are tapped in with self, you know exactly what communication has come in and what hasn't. So that allows you to speak to them. Speak to me nice. So that allows you to speak to them like, hey, I don't know where to go with this. You guys give me information from that. It's great. It's powerful. I'm using it. I'm utilizing it. But I have to revise my goals right now because I'm not close to being done. So where do I go from here? What do we do from here? Right? It says start talking with your ancestors in your native tongue. Okay? And that just means talking to them. It could be in your native tongue if you know another language, and that speaks better with some ancestors, or it could be, English. Whatever it is. Or it could be writing things down. Some people communicate to the ancestors by just channeling messages, right? It could be communicating with them on the dream realm. Could be communicating with them by going to the cemetery and talking to them to their grave or at your altar. It could just be talking out loud and then a message comes. Whatever it is a means of communicating with them, because we do having to take this step back. It is always, always amazing to have a little bit of help on the other side. Because I got friends on the other side, right? And that's that means of that, and realizing they can also help you. Because a cycle or pattern that you are dealing with cannot even be because of your own karma in this lifetime. It can be from your bloodline or lineage karma, and you're like, this is the person that's going to break it. And they can help you in operating you with breaking whatever this is. It could be a continuous person that's coming into your life, that third party energy. Right? So, release your fear and look to the future with excitement. 777. Look to the future with joy. Just because it's happening, and it's like, oh, I'm finna hit that speedway in Mario Kart. That's what this is. This wasn't a setback. This is a jump forward. This is propelling me forward. It's launching me like a cannonball, and I'm excited for it, and I'm ready for it. So that has been your message for this weekend for the collective in regards to the new moon in Virgo and your past previous readings that I've been doing back to back to back. Okay? I do these live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and their special astrology days. Like yesterday, you can find me everywhere on Matisse_Moon. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe, as well as hit the notification bell, so that way I can continuously show these beautifully gorgeous messages. And I love you guys. Love yourselves more. Until next time.